Dhamaka.
जहाँ खड़े हो जाते हैं लाइन वहीं से शुरू होती है।
तुमने कभी किसी से प्यार किया?
Hi and welcome to a new episode of Khandaan podcast. My name is Asim Bernie. I'm joined with my lovely co-host Amrita and Sujoy. Hey Amrita, hey Sujoy.
Hello, everybody.
I just want people to know this is like the third episode that we are recording in a row, and Asim is over it.
No. I'm just doing three things at the same time as I usually am doing. So I'm not over it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm happy we're back and I'm happy we're finishing. I do have a feeling that sometimes, we committed to these 80s series and I'm like, khatam ho jaye 80s, that I do have sometimes. But I think this week's movie is one that I was really looking forward to, and probably one of the reasons why I actually even wanted to do an 80s series, in its entirety, because we're doing 1982's Namak Halaal, or the adventures of Arjun Singh Wal Bhim Singh Wal Dashrath Singh. Sujoy, you also really wanted to do this movie.
Yeah, because I've been traveling, so getting back into the swing of things, it was going to be difficult to watch a movie that actually wanted a lot more attention from me. But having said that, this movie took a toll on me because this is a 3 hour something movie, and I was still sort of getting into the routine of adjusting my sleep cycle. So I find it very hard to stay awake past 10 p.m. right now because I'm still on Asia time. So I've watched Namak Halaal over the course of a week, and I could only make it to like Jawaani, Jaaneman, and then I fell asleep as soon as Parveen Babi came into the scene. Like, what's happening? This is one of my favorite movies of all time, but I was finding it really hard to finish this movie. But thankfully, I did it yesterday for the podcast. Yeah.
Amazing. Amrita, what were your thoughts on Namak Halaal?
So I know this is sacrilege, but Namak Halaal is not one of my favorite films.
What?
I do not appreciate comedy Amitabh.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't like comedy Amitabh. I really don't.
Asim, wait for my reaction.
Hi? Oh my God. Like I'm so I'm literally in shock. But this is for me, this is my all-time favorite Amitabh movie.
Yeah,
Like this is
I know.
the one.
But
I
if
thought
you
Asim would say,
remember, which is why both times that you guys were just like, "Oh my God, Namak Halaal," and I was just like, yeah, yay, and I really don't like it. But it wasn't as bad as I feared, like comedy Amitabh to me. So to me, you know how I talk about how much I hate comedy Shah Rukh?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, comedy Shah Rukh is very obviously modeled on comedy Amitabh. And I literally cannot stand it. Like, it's very over the top. It's very like, look at me, I am doing comedy now. And the only comedy Amitabh that I've ever liked is the one from Sholay, where he's very deadpan.
Dry.
It's like,
CG.
Not just Mousy G, but like even earlier, where Basanti is like, but tumne to mera naam pucha hi nahi, and then he's like, tumhara naam kya hai, Basanti?
Yeah.
Like, he's like really good. Like, even in the silent bits where he doesn't have much dialogue, he's like stuffing cotton in his ears while Basanti is talking. Like, he's hilarious. But I don't like to me, Namak Halaal is very much in that same vein as his character from Chupke Chupke, just like very loud and very like, hey, and I'm just like, I just can't stand it. I don't know where he got that high from, but like, I wish he would die.
So, I know exactly.
But
You know where he got it from? The place he got it from is Kader Khan. Clearly, this is Kader Khan. Like the rewatching. First of all, what I find interesting in this movie is that Kader Khan doesn't get a credit. There's no written by Kader Khan or dialogue by Kader Khan, but every line that Amitabh is saying, it is a Kader Khan line. You can see him say, like, Lokal Lo Baat is Kader Khan. Hai is Kader Khan. Like, मैं सूर की जंगल में मक्खी घुस गई is Kader Khan. So yeah, that's where he gets it from. And apparently, Kader would used to run lines with him and tell him exactly how to deliver them, and that's how Amitabh used to do it. So the Hai.
Oh.
Having said that, though, there is an inconsistency in Arjun Singh's character itself, because the moment we get introduced to him, he has that whole "Dadu tu mari jindagi hai," and he's very Jat in that, right? He's very North Indian.
Mhm.
But then when he does the Vijay Merchant, Vijay Hazare, and then he becomes the Bhaiya, he's become very UP and Bihari in that way. So there is a, like, where does Arjun Singh, well, Bhim Singh, well, Dasrath Singh, where was he brought up? There is, and the whole Daddu thing, it's very inconsistent. That's like, rewatching this, I had so many questions, like, and that's why I don't like, my experience with Namak Halal this time around was like, oh, watching it with a grown up eyes is sort of ruining this movie for me.
Oh my God, guys!
Yeah.
Like, I think we're done. We're done. We're done with the 80s series. If this can't work for you, nothing can work. Like,
Ah.
But like,
there's no pleasing you.
no, I'm saying, like, the enjoyment of Namak Halal in 2025 is solely dependent on how tolerant are you with a Makhi scene. Like, if that is your comedy level, then you will find this as hilarious. There's an entire 15-minute scene where Amitabh Bachchan hunts down a Makhi on a dinner table and just demolishes Seths left, right, and center. There's Kalia as Talwar Seth, and then Kirodi Mal Seth, and all of that. And that's peak comedy. That's peak comedy happening in this movie. And like, Rajaji, Shashi Kapoor is like enjoying the heck out of it. If that is your comedy level and that's what you enjoy, then yeah, Namak Halal will be great. But I'm sorry, I'm 42 years old. This is not it. I did feel like, oh, a Gen Z person, being introduced to Andaz Apna Apna without the context, and us like raving it, and then them not finding Andaz Apna Apna funny at all. I did feel like that. Like, looking back, like, I used to be such an advocate for the comedy in Namak Halal. Like, this is peak comedy. That whole English is a funny language is just like, it's a show reel for Amitabh Bachchan. Whenever there is a in memoriam section of Amitabh Bachchan, I should not say this or put it out in the world, but that
What is happening in this episode? First, you're denigrating Namak Halal, then you don't like comedy Amitabh, and now you killed him.
no, I'm saying that show reel will always be a part of the
Mm.
greatness of Amitabh Bachchan's acting, right? But it's such an isolated bit that it does not feel like connected to the world of Namak Halal. It just feels like a show reel of Amitabh Bachchan, that he can do this, do this, do this, do this. He has the emotional bits with Wahida Rahman. He has the Namak Halali bit with the Malik, 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 and then he has the Bhairo Baron thingy as well. So
Okay, in support of my arguments, we received a message from our friend Yamini, which I want to
okay.
now read out. Um, as you know, Namak Halal was a film I was rooting for the moment you announced the 80s Dhamaka series, next to Chashme Bhadur, which unfortunately did not get chosen. This film is a childhood favorite since it's my mother's favorite Hindi film. Everything from the glorious soundtrack to the I talk English, walk English speech, this film has stood by me for years, and it has aged so remarkably well, gang. I know this was something you were worried about during the Kalia episode, but I can assure you this is some of the best content the 80s has to offer. See, this is why I'm sad that Yamini is no longer in London. She was my Joridar. For one, I absolutely love the cast. Amitabh and my darling Shashi, obviously, and the women. I never realized Smita Patil and Amitabh would ever have such scorching chemistry, especially with the beauty that is Aaj Rapat Jaye. And Parveen Babi, she just looks so luscious in all those sequins, shining like the star she is. Actually, now that I think about it, there's a lot of sparkly clothes, and of course, Wahida Rehman, way too young to play Amitabh's mother, but she can do anything. I really could go on about this, but as a fan of the film and Khandaan in general, I'd be remiss not to mention one of the greatest dialogue writers in history, our dear departed Kader Khan. Watching films like this remind me how much I miss the command over the language, and in realizing how much I miss the sorry, she. Okay, I want to watch this film all over again. I love you, my Khandaan. I'm so glad you're finally reviewing it. She sent me an earlier message where she says, also, my mom is now a Patreon, and I want to give her a shout out. So
Ah.
amazing, amazing.
Welcome to the
Um,
Khandaan. But
yes,
also, Chashme Badur did get chosen for the 80s Dhamaka series
we brought
eventually.
it back in. I
Yeah,
think we brought it back in
because we
because
couldn't find a good print for New Delhi
yes,
Times.
so
So,
double fun for Yamini. Both of our films got chosen. I mean, I
yeah.
think she's making a lot of good points here, guys. I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I think I'm just like, let's get into the film a little bit. I had forgotten that this movie basically starts like a Gangs of Wasipur situation. Like there's like a
Mhm.
full ass, a gun shootout, and
Yeah.
everybody's getting killed and died. I'd completely forgotten that this was such a violent situation that was happening.
Yeah, Suresh Oberoi, RIP.
This is one of those eras where Suresh Oberoi would be dying in every movie, right?
Yeah.
Vidhata too.
Yeah, but also like the stakes that he leaves behind to his wife, like वादा करो कि मेरा बेटा बड़ा होके नमक हलाल बनेगा, like
Yeah.
मालिक पे जान निछावर कर देगा. The beta has no say in it, and also then Daddu then accuses her of killing his son, and all of that happening within the first 15 minutes of the movie. This is so 80s, like cold open sort of storytelling. Like everybody used to do it, from Manmohan Desai to Prakash Mehra here. Yeah.
Did you also see that the movie was produced by Chaudhary Enterprises?
Yeah, I did. I so did. I was like, Mehta textile kidhar
Yeah, पहना हुआ है उन्होंने मेहता textile. But
hai?
also, it was funny because that situation where it's a lot about namak khaya hai and
Mhm.
wafardari and all that kind of stuff, and it's like you see the house that these people are living in and the
Mhm.
responsibility that's been given to them. And
Mhm.
he makes Wahida Rahman the trustee of the estate. And it's like,
Yeah.
start maybe paying them a decent wage, like this,
Yeah.
apparently there's a, like, even back then capitalism wasn't working for the middle class at least. Yeah.
And then like Rajaji found this out like way after that he's the sole heir to the entire whatever estate. And like what the hell was this lawyer doing after all this time? It's just, yeah, too many loopholes, man, Asim, for me to appreciate Namak Halal.
uh,
For me,
also,
like it started getting really annoying right in the beginning, where for some reason Daddu just decides that Savitri has murdered
Yeah.
his son. Like, why?
can I? All men in this movie, they are very ready for misogyny. Like they're
Mhm.
ready the moment they get.
Misogyny. Misogyny.
They're ready for misogyny straight away. Like
Yeah.
even Amitabh and Shashi Kapoor, that he's just slapping Parveen Babi. Like the
Yeah.
moment he gets it, like Amitabh, his sketch is like, "Oh, tu pregnant kaise ho gayi?" All of that,
Hmm.
and like misogyny is just like ready to pop. And
Yeah.
yeah, Daddu is definitely part of that for sure. Um, yeah. So and then also like. Uh, and then immediately we flash back to 20 years forward, and Girdar, he's the main villain. I forgotten how much Andaz Apna Apna is coded, has taken from
Taken
this
from
movie.
this.
And
Yeah.
it was so obvious watching Namak Halal, right? Like
Yeah.
even the getup was so
Yeah.
Sham Sham Gopal, it's like exactly
Yeah.
the same thing. And
Yeah.
the funniest part, this is the thing with Andaz Apna, but jokes, like how many times have you talked about this movie? How many times have you laughed about this movie? But this is a joke that I hadn't figured out because I know I'm watching Namak Halal. Is that when Girdhar is talking to his son, Ranjit,
Ranjit. Yeah.
he's pulling out these massive photos. And that's the joke in Andaz Apna Apna when
Yeah.
he brings out the massive photo. I hadn't thought about it. And then
Okay.
the second thing also, Ranjit constantly says, "I have a plan, Dad." And then the dad says, तू रख अपना प्लान, अंदाज अपना अपना. That's I've got 3 references already on
Also,
Andaz
there's Kalia here, Viju Khote, who is a rabbit in Andaz
Rabbit.
Apna Apna. Yeah, and like every time he appears, I'm like, yeah, happy birthday, rabbit. And
Yeah.
also, Satyam Kapoor as the main villain is such a weak guy. I would have liked somebody like Pran to be in this position. I just can't expect Satyan Kapoor to be menacing. I'm sorry. Or to be the father of Ranjit. It's just such a weak sauce villain for me. Yeah, I didn't like believe in the menace of Satyan Kapoor as Girdhar at all.
Yeah, and also, what has he been doing for 20 years? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, what has he been planning for 20 years? Like, that part.
Apparently, you can only kill the Rajkumar once he's back in India. Like he has to be murdered on Indian soil for
उसके
it to
पास
work.
passport नहीं है boss. He's been dead, so he
This
can't have
is
any. He can't have any ID, so he can't
uh,
even get ration.
this is 1982. You know he
Uh,
can't get like foreign exchange and like a passport to go to Vides.
But
yeah,
also, see, did you listen to his backstory? He was like, basically, yeah, I'm 20 years ago, I was coming to visit you in boarding school, Ranjit. And I was going to fly back. And then this poor guy didn't have a ticket. So I gave him my ticket. And that's why they think that I died. I was like, why would this super villain be having a heart and giving his ticket away? Like, this
yeah,
doesn't make sense. And so basically, what have you done in 20 years? Because like you've just built a lair, like all of this thing. Like,
But
I want to
also,
get I
it's
want to
all
get into the
Sani said. Sani said.
this is a whole segment. I want to talk about that during the climax. I've
Uh,
called it the logistics of a lair, but
yeah,
we're gonna get into that a bit later.
no, but like imagine like rocking up with somebody else's ticket today, like,
yeah,
going in the when we live in the post 9/11 world, like it just
Yeah,
makes no sense. Like somebody's like, "Huh, I gave him my ticket and said
yeah.
le lo," and he's like,
Then he
"Okay."
died, like Final Destination, and then
yeah,
even Ranjit is like surprised. He's like, "Wait, we're related? ये hotel मेरे हैं?" It's like, "Yeah, Ranjit, तेरा बाप चोर है," like
oh,
yeah.
Satyan Kapoor.
So that was just kind of like, but I think all of the villain setup, this whole thing is just like a framing device for the movie. That I don't think the movie is interested in any of that. That's why
No,
they don't have a big villain. It doesn't also make sense, right? So uh, then pretty much we go into the do sequence,
yeah.
Yeah.
which I don't know. How do you guys feel about the do sequences?
I can't stand Dadu. Dadu's the worst.
I had completely forgotten that Daddu has an arc, a whole middle section where he comes to check out his own grandson as like a whole that whole thing just escaped from my memory, and I was like, oh my god, yes, Om Prakash like does this whole thing that he's going to order prostitutes to his hotel room and asks his grandson to order women to his room, and alcohol and all of this stuff happens. I'm like, what the heck is
Uh,
happening in this movie?
Sujoy, are you saying you forgot San Francisco Albert Cantino
Uh-huh.
d'Agosta Rodrigo?
Yeah.
Is this
It's like that generation's Jose Pedro Balmaceda Pascal.
who? That is the name he's given, but then
Uh,
throughout the rest of the movie, they call him Albert da Costa Rodriguez. So
uh-huh.
it's like that name wasn't enough. Now we have to have another name in it.
But you can tell that that name was written by the pen of Kader Khan.
100%. 100%.
100%.
Also, when he's like ordering, he's like, shoo, shoo, poo, 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 poo. Kadran, Kadran. Like,
Oh
I
man.
would love it. But
Uh,
just generally, I feel there's a lot of whoring around going on in these hotels.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
a
for
lot of
sure.
prostitution going around, which is, and people seem to be very open about it, like,
Yeah, that whole guy who has this thing for Smita Patil's character, Punam, and he's just after her life.
please never say
There's,
Punnu.
I
Sujoy.
mean, okay, fine. It's only Arjun Singh who can say it.
Yeah. Also, like, Shashi just rocks up with 3 escorts
Yeah,
with him to meet his mom. It's like, like, it's like people are very much open with what's
yeah.
going on. Yeah. 80s, man, they were wild.
But also the other Andaz Apna Apna connection is that Poonam has a andha bhai. Ye mera bhai andha hai.
Also, he seems to be andha, yes, from yesterday. Like, he
Yeah.
has no sense of being blind. He's like, मैं कौन हूँ, मैं कौन हूँ? You know, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he has no skills whatsoever. Which was also like, creates that funny thing where, you know, like, Amitabh is like, immediately he sees Smita Patil in the song, and he starts
Mhm.
like seducing her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
openly, line maroing, and it's not
But
work.
also, no, before that, he like Amitabh asks Poonam that oh, मैं तुम्हें घर छोड़ देता हूँ,
Yeah.
and she's like, why are you being so familiar with me? Because she's in that, need to protect myself, whatever. And then she says like, मेरे लिए कोई इंतजार कर रहा है. So
Hmm.
Amitabh is like backing out, like, oh, she's got somebody in her life. And then when he realizes that इसका भाई है, the khushi on his face that he
लड्डू फूट रहे,
realizes.
लड्डू लड्डू.
No. And
मेरी
he's like,
लाइन क्लियर है.
yeah, but he also does not jump on that, like, and then he leaves like a very sanskari guy. And
Yeah,
then when Poonam chases Amitabh, like after Amitabh, that's when the Aaj Rapad Jai happens, which,
yeah.
by the way, greatest rain song ever.
Seriously,
I
like, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead before I like.
Because Asim is like, ये तो मेरी जवानी के दिन याद आ गए. Like,
हमारे जमाने में जो रेन सॉन्ग हुआ करते थे. बोलो अमृता, बोलो.
no, it's like seriously the hottest song that, like
Mhm.
even all these years later. And Smita, man, like, and the thing is, like, it's Smita Patil. Like, of all the people that you expect, like
Yeah.
Smita's, you don't expect Smita to be in that kind of a song, and it's especially funny because Smita Patil has given like actual interviews where she's spoken about like the objectifying gaze of
Mhm.
the camera and like what it means and everything. And then when she gets to do it, she's just like, I'm gonna show you something.
Mhm.
Okay, this is where we again differ here. I felt very uncomfortable with this song suddenly. I
Okay.
Oh,
thought Samita Patil did not look comfortable at all, because I've seen songs with him, her, and Amitabh, like Mard, like we
Shakti,
talked about.
not
Sorry,
Mard. She's not
Shakti.
Mard.
Sorry, Shakti. Yeah,
Shakti,
Shakti,
huh?
जाने कैसे
hot
कब
Yeah,
hot
बना.
yeah.
Yeah.
song, right? Hot
Mhm.
song. This one she felt very uncomfortable to me, and I was actually going to IMDb, which doesn't mean anything. Sorry, yeah, IMDb trivia says Sumita Patel was so upset after shooting Aaj Rapat Jaye, she locked herself in a room and cried for hours. Smita did not want to be a commercial actress and did not want to sing and dance. Even while shooting the song, she was very upset, and it was Amitabh who put her a little at ease. So I'm very surprised that you guys are like. I thought
She
she
was
looked
at
very
the
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that at all. Like I remember like watching it as a child and thinking like, like almost as if like I need to like look away from it, because
Yeah,
it was
it's
like,
completely
Raunchy.
inappropriate. That song is completely
yeah,
inappropriate. And
yeah,
also, I think that a lot of it is also that the rain machine is just going too strong. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
they had to like lower it a slight few levels, and they haven't done it. And they're like it's just like closing their eyes. They're like "Kaun hai kaya, Amitabh kaya," like it's like way too much. And yeah, I was just like watching it now. I was like, "Hey, this song was not appropriate as a kid for me to watch as many times
yeah.
as I watched it." And secondly, Smita is not consenting here, guys. She is not consenting to whatever's
And
going on.
Amitabh is like, aha, तुम्हारा साड़ी फंस गया है. I will just wrap myself around it and just reduce the garment on your body. Like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
heck is
yeah.
happening?
She's holding on her to her pallu like day life,
Yeah.
like Ranjit is on the other side, like.
Only because it's Arjun Singh,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. But
Arjun Singh, well, the Bhim Singh, well, the Dashrath
Dasharat
Singh.
Singh,
Red
Please
yeah.
Singh.
excuse me.
And
Sab
at the
them.
end of the song, I forgot that this also happened, that Rajaji comes out of nowhere and he's like, oh, मैं तुम्हें गाड़ी में छोड़ देता हूँ. And Arjun Singh is like, नहीं, हमारे लिए ठेला ही काफी है.
Yo, he was really into that thela, man. I don't know if that thela survived that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. But also, Arjun Singh says, हाँ, इसके बाद जो होना है वो गाजे बाजे के बाद ही
Yeah,
होगा.
yeah. Limit
Because he's
limit में रहते
sanskari. Yeah. Wet rain, but after sanskars.
Yeah. Then then yeah, basically Shashi Kapoor comes back. He's like all hot and bothered because Bob Christo tried to kill him in the Alps.
Yeah.
Uh, Bob Crisco under the thing with a wireless singing, "तू राजा साहब को जानता है?" Yes, जानता है. You know, Bob Crisco is the best
Yeah.
man. So yeah, and he immediately thinks that Wahida Rahman is trying to kill him, and he gets really like very passive aggressive about it. He's not like openly. A lot of this movie is about people should just have clearer conversations and open
Conversations.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could solve a lot of issues, even Daddu and Wahida and like him and Shashi and Wahida. A lot of these conversations could have been sorted out quite quickly.
I think we have totally skipped ahead because we did not talk about Ghungroo.
I want to
Yeah.
do all of the songs in one go. You want to do? Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's talk about Pag Ghugru, which is no. Before that, let's just talk music because this is a
Okay.
Bappi
Yeah.
Lahiri soundtrack,
Yeah.
right? Like it's
For me, Namak Halaal, like the MVP of this movie is Bappi Lahiri.
Yeah.
Like the legacy of this movie still lives on because of the music of Bappi Lahiri and the disco influence that this movie's soundtrack brought into Hindi cinema. It's just phenomenal.
This is my favorite Bappi Lahiri soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like as a full soundtrack, this is my favorite one. I know a lot of people will say Disco Dancer and things like that, but this is the one for me.
Yeah.
Just because the compositions are so intricate. Like
Yeah.
in the theme song for the Khandaan theme for the 80s Dhamaka series, our lovely friend DJ Shy Guy who did the theme song added the horns from Pag Ghungru at the start.
Yeah.
And on Patreon, we were having a discussion because one of our patrons couldn't find where the horns were from. And I said it's from Pag Ghungru. But the thing is, that's a whole 10-minute sequence of
Yeah.
just comedy before the song even starts. So if you go to the song, that intro is obviously not there because it's just
Yeah.
like a very intricate set piece with horns and drums and things like that. And every song has that. There's like, even in the drunk song, there's like this whole
Thodi
like
si jo peeli hai.
yeah,
Mhm.
Thodi Si Jo Peeli is there's like a whole dance interlude they're doing, and it's
Yeah.
so cool. There's like
Yeah.
laser shots and stuff like that, and it's so cool. It's like, like Sujoy, you have that meme of that every time goes viral a few years where it's like A.R. Rahman on the piano. What is that from Dil Se that meme that your meme that
Oh,
always
yeah,
goes
yeah.
viral?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's basically Mani Ratnam saying this is going to be the train song, and then Gulzar makes the lyrics, and then A.R. Rahman is playing the piano with the piano on fire.
On fire. And this
Yeah.
was Bappi Lahiri with this soundtrack for me.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
pretty much.
amazing. But yeah, the other thing we also have to say, Bappi Lahiri is one of the most chore composers there's out there.
I was thinking, how is Asim going to put it? But he said it. He did
Chore,
it.
like up there with the pinnacle of Anu Malik, Rakesh
Preetams.
Roshan, R.D. Burman,
Rajesh Roshan.
Rajesh Roshan, like the king of chores, Pritam, like
Yeah.
he is up there. Like Bappi Lahiri is sabka baap hai.
Mhm.
Like, so a lot of the songs that you do love and listen to, you don't know where he stole it from. Like,
There's a lot
you
of
don't
there's
know.
clearly a lot of some like influence of Donna Summers and the whole disco generation of the 70s, obviously that has found its way in his soundtrack.
Yeah.
But having said that, he has incorporated Hindustani classical into Pag Ghungru as well. But and then what's his face, that whole pani sa ma pani, and then the whole thingy that happens with, I think it's sung by somebody called Pandit Satyanarayan Mishra, who is not credited on the soundtrack, which I find, like, I had to dig through to find who sang that whole sargam bit in Pag Ghungru. Yeah, it's fabulous. And then we obviously haven't talked about the two Parveen Babi tracks, which are Jawaani, Jaaneman and Raat, Baaki, which are amazing. Like, oh my God.
I think
Yeah.
Raat Baaki might be the best disco song
Yes.
ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like ever. Like
Yes.
in India. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's the best song. Like, it's so
But
good.
also, I'd like to say, Bappi Lahiri gets to sing the portion where Shashi Kapoor sings, and his Hindi pronunciation is not the best.
It's
so he
lovely.
says,
It's lovely.
yeah, दिल वाले परवाने मरने से डरते
Nahi.
नहीं.
Love it.
I
But
love it.
also,
But
the Shashi Kapoor pulls it off.
Yeah.
That is the coolness about it, no?
Yeah.
but also like the line that used to trip me up was that so there's a line that goes like आगाज ये है तो अंजाम होगा
अंजाम होगा
हसीन
ये हंसे. Yeah.
scene, right?
Yeah.
And because it's him singing it for the longest time, I thought he was saying आवाज ये है तो अंजाम
Uh,
होगा हसीन. I was like, that makes no sense. What do you mean आवाज ये है तो अंजाम होगा
yeah,
हसीन?
for sure.
Also, shout out to the whistling interlude in
Raat
Raat
Baaki.
Baaki, which I think is the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever,
Yeah.
where they suddenly start whistling. Oh my god, that song, man. It is so cool.
There are so many remixes of Raat Baki, but the original still is the
Yeah. You can't
greatest.
improve on
Yeah.
perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like small thing, but like I know Yamini mentioned this in a note, but the pronunciation of Raat Baki,
Yeah.
you know,
It's the Q, not a K.
it's so specific, and it's
Yeah.
something that nobody can do anymore. Almost like nobody
Yeah.
would focus on that, but the
Yeah.
way Asha Bhosle pronounce it, this is the way it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
and it's so amazing to do that in a disco song.
Yeah.
Just like a cool thing. I thought that was like such a cool thing. Jawaani Jaaneman,
Yeah.
worst dancing I have ever seen from Parveen Babi. So hot and so untalented in dancing. I cannot understand.
Like people get really mad when you say this on Instagram because they're just like, and I'm just like, do you not have eyes? Like, it's very clear that the woman has never met a beat that she can keep to.
Yeah.
But that face.
It's oh my god! Like I like also her intro in the movie.
Mhm.
She's like standing on the beach with her mom, and
It's
there's sun.
probably that Mud Island apartment. Like,
Yeah,
Andazat naam
probably.
ka wala ghar hi hai.
Yeah, it's sunset in the back, and her
Yeah.
hair is just flowing,
Yeah.
and it's a sight to behold. Like it is like what a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still lost in the hair.
You're lost in the hair, yeah.
Yeah.
The Jawaani Janeman thing, the dancing is horrendous. Like I'll be honest with it, but the track is a banger. So what do you do?
Yeah.
Like Shashi has no way to withstand her charms here. I think Shashi's character was also into some weird SM domination play. Like I feel like he has some weird kinks, like because he comes up like he's going home with 3 escorts. He's
Yeah.
got like whores coming in and out. um he does, and he's really excited by getting a cactus.
Mhm.
I think he's in, like, when he slaps Parveen's face, and he's like, I don't know, he had a little bit of that Akshay Kumar face going on in Lal Pari, like you
Yeah.
said. I'm sure it's just acting, but yeah, I think Shashi really delved into the character here.
I think Thodi Si Jo Peeli Hai is probably my least favorite of the soundtrack, but it's still a great song.
I'm gonna hate you, Sujoy. I don't know. How can you disrespect Jamalo?
Oh, Sheila, oh, Neela.
Jamalo is so hot, and
Uh-huh.
Jamalo is the worst actress. She cannot do anything.
The whole point of introducing Jamalo is that Kader Khan can write the rhyme to Sambhalo, basically.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so catchy. The song is so catchy.
Mhm.
Like you show it to a kid and they will start singing it like immediately. But it's such a complicated composition. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
not simple. Then the whole dance interlude, and then even it's so funny. Like the song. I mean, we can debate what you find funny and what I find funny,
Uh-huh.
but like, and I think Sujoy, you pointed that out. Amitabh is 40 in this
Yeah.
movie. There's a moment where he has the 4 women around his arms and he does a backflip. I'm slightly older. There's no way I could do that like at 40. Like it's so cool. He's doing breakdancing. He's doing like he gets and then they throw like a gamla on his head and his hair is wet like Akshay Kumar in like that era that like he had that moment where Akshay Kumar had this really flat hum tumme hair. It just looks cool and then he's like swinging the water on Daddu with the pew. It's just so
Yeah.
funny. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Did we do all the songs, or did we
Yeah.
forget anyone?
जवानी जानेमन पर घुंघरू आज रपट जाए रात बाकी थोड़ी सी
Yeah.
जपीली है.
Yeah.
Banger of an album. Like
Yeah.
just
Amazing.
banger after banger after banger.
Nothing but the hits. Oh, Pagungru also like a very like Kishore Kumar song, right?
Yeah.
Like who else would be able to do it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That song is crazy. Like it's like you need that kind of energy to it, no?
And the whole trajectory of that song, right? It introduces us to Arjun Singh, his whole character. He's dancing to disco, and then "Aapka to lagta hai bas yahi sapna." So he's playing around with Ranjit, and that's the introduction of Poonam into this
Yeah.
track as well. It's like he instantly falls in love with Poonam, and he just dil cheer ke dekho, like Amitabh, ew.
And even special effects, like he walks on the clouds to go meet
Yeah.
her. That thing is happening, and then also that thing where he throws the shoe and it ends up on the villain's plate.
Yeah.
And then he takes the shoe, and then the villain's gonna eat the thing, and the girl stops him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's just mini gags thrown away. Just yeah. Also, is this the first time that we ever saw Dinesh Hingu in any movie? Like the whole point of Amitabh singing is because Dinesh Hingu is too drunk to sing because he was the star performer of the night.
Yeah,
He's like, my friend here will sing, and this is the first time that we are seeing him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to check his IMDb.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that was really cool, and then like also just all of the assassination attempts that are happening on Shashi
Yeah.
throughout the movie. I also the cake one was quite actually like I was getting emotional with that one for Wahida. Was that Tuntun? That was
Yeah,
Tuntun
yeah,
ka
yeah. It
doggy,
was
right?
Tuntun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuntun ka
Mera
doggy.
kutta maar diya.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, it's just like immediately like he's going, like whoever ordered the cake. Also, just generally, I feel like none of these things have really consequences. Like for the baker that sent a poison cake, even like
Yeah.
at the finale when Ranjit and Girdhar are being sent, like they just lock him as like "Tum log khud hi dhoond lo police thana. हम जंगल में छोड़ देंगे," and that's it. It's like they try to kill your mom. You're like everybody is like
पुलिस
hilarious.
से पहले तुम्हें शेर पकड़ ले. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell is happening?
Yeah. Can I say my masala heart cries at the Daddu scene? Still, I get emotional when Daddu and okay, I have to say this. I think not really, but something I don't know what it is. Like I used to watch this movie a lot at my nana's house. They used to have it on VHS, and I just used to connect Daddu with my nana, who I love, adore.
Oh.
So there's this something about Amitabh, Daddu tu nahi tha, and I was crying, and it just gets to me to a certain way because I miss my Nana a lot, and their love is so sweet in a way. It's weird, it's toxic, it's very misogynistic, but there's something about it that really gets to me, and I do get still emotional when the big
तुम्हारे
reveal
दिल में
happens.
भी तरंग उठे अरमान जागे कि तुम दद्दू की सेवा करो.
Yeah, no, but just the sequence where he's like, like he realizes that he does the thing. Oh, Arjun got crushed under a bus, and Daddu is crying, and then he's like, "Tu mera Daddu nahi hai," and all that. That still gets to my masala heart.
Right.
Like after all of the comedy, or after the insanity, only masala movies can give you such an overt emotion that it still lands. And I think that is the power of masala movies that no other cinema can do. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love Namak Halal so much.
I think like it's for me it's like too separate. Like it's not consistent in its tone like a Manmohan Desai movie is. Like I compare it directly with an Amar Akbar Anthony, which also has comedy, which also has emotions, which also has the masala drama and the mother separation and the milap and everything. But somehow that in all its absurdity sort of works because it's quite consistent. Whereas here, Amitabh goes from overtly emotional to the whole Dadu thing, then the Malik thing, then he's also slapstick. It just doesn't, it's not consistent enough for me. It just feels like we are hitting all these beats somehow.
I think the thread, and I think that's what probably both for you and Amrita, because the comedy isn't working. The thread
Hmm.
is like it's kind of untangling. I think if the comedy still works for you, then it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
but I
yeah, for
think
sure.
that's probably the main reason why this is happening to you guys.
Like that whole Vijay Merchant, Vijay Hazare thing, it's like, I don't know. It works in a level that, oh my God, he's able to do that in one take, but also it's not funny. Asim is gonna disown me.
I don't know. Like it's hard to debate what is funny, what isn't funny,
Yeah,
right?
for
Like, but
sure.
it
Yeah.
is like for me, I still laugh. My
Hmm.
daughter laughs. She has
Yeah.
memorized that scene bit for bit, and
Hmm.
it's one of those classic comedy bits, you know. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just not working for you now. So there's no
Yeah.
debating that necessarily. I feel.
Okay, on the Dinesh Shingu bit, I just checked his IMDb. Man has done 475 movies till now. It's crazy.
Is he alive
And
still?
yeah, he's still got two projects upcoming, one of them being Hera Peri 3.
Oh wow.
And the Namak Halal was not his first rodeo. He's been
Ah,
doing movies since the 60s.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Amrita, did you want to add something?
I'm just glad that you guys are having like a good time.
Amrita's like, it sounds like a you problem.
Okay, let's get into the climax of the movie, which I think we've hit most of the beats, right? I don't think
Yeah.
we've missed anything. The climax is where I'm like, okay, now this whole mess is kind of like getting jangly.
Mhm.
Because
It,
the start of it is that Amitabh brings in Ranjit with a gun on his head. They
mhm.
go away, and then he brings back Ranjit with a gun on his head. So I was like, what's happened here exactly? You know, what have we
Yeah.
achieved by all of this? And I just want to talk about the logistics of a villain lair here, because I think that's the thing that I was thinking about the most. Because literally, the previous movie we talked about villain lairs was Kalia with
Yeah.
Shani Seth,
Funny say
right?
it.
So I was thinking, you know, I really got into it at that moment. I'd watched the movie. I recently watched it, so I could watch it again. And there were moments where I was kind of like losing concentration of it. So my mind started going like, so Girdhar has basically kidnapped all of the people that
Mhm.
Amitabh loves, right?
Yeah.
He's kidnapped his mom, he's kidnapped his Dadu. Um,
What are you calling? Kidnapped?
I don't know why I'm doing this. It's some reference in my mind, and now I'm using it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm doing.
That's how
Kidnapped.
Kader Khan would have wanted
Yeah,
Amrita.
exactly.
Please.
I'm just, you know, kidnap. This is from something. Is it from? I don't
Yeah.
know if it's from. I think it's from Umar Sharif. Maybe that's why you don't get the reference.
Yeah.
No, okay. Anyway, इंडिया तक नहीं पहुंचता उमर शरीफ. uh, so it is from Umar Sharif. It's from Noon Khunda. Yeah, it is actually for kidnap. Okay, it's really funny.
This is something that should have stayed in Pakistan.
हमें नहीं चाहिए. Like Fawad Khan, हमें नहीं चाहिए. um, so he kidnaps Parveen Babi, and then also her mom that Amitabh doesn't really know, but she's also
Mhm.
kidnapped, right? She's also there,
Yeah.
right? So, and I think the thing is funny because he has them in these chairs, and he's sitting them on the facing the wall, and then he turns them around very
To
dramatically,
reveal them. Yeah.
reveal that who these persons are.
It's
And I was
like a
like,
reality TV show, right?
yeah. And I was like, so what's happening? Like, how long have they been sitting there with back
Just
against
facing
their
the
wall?
wall. Yeah.
And while Amitabh goes to the mission to get the signature, do they have to go back to the cells, or have they do they still sit there like in the wall?
Turn and face the
Yeah.
wall.
And
Yeah.
also, like, these chairs didn't feel like they had wheels on them. So how
Mhm.
did they get carted to the thing? You know, so these are the things I was thinking about. And then I was like, obviously, when you build a lair, you have to go to a lair architect, right? Or like
Mhm.
some place where you order lair equipment. So I was just thinking, Girdhar and Shani said probably went to the same guy, and I was like thinking about, no, I don't need the chessboard and I don't need the hydraulic walls,
Yeah.
but I do need the Egyptian pillars. and I'm debating the acid bath. I'm not sure yet. So I was like, yeah, but I do need a lot of nylon stocking masks.
Oh my God, yes.
For all of the henchmen.
Yeah.
They all get masks. Nobody gets guns though. Like
Yeah.
mask for all, guns for none.
And the masks like have zero purpose. It does not help you disguise in any shape or form. You instantly know who is behind the mask. Like I can tell it's Talwar Seth
Yeah.
or Kirodimal Seth. And then what are these Seth who were apparently going to buy the hotel and the property? Why are they Girdhar's henchmen all of a
Because
sudden?
he's gonna buy it. So he gets like Shashi gets mad, I'm gonna just sell everything, I don't care. And
Mhm.
Wahida is like, nahi beta, nahi bechne do, and all that. And then Ranjit goes to Girdhar and he says they're gonna sell it. And Girdhar says no, but he's gonna sell it to our men. We're gonna buy up the whole
Ah,
thing.
But
But
if they
again, that
can
does
buy it, then why are they trying to kill him?
it doesn't make any sense. What has he? That's what I'm saying. What has he been doing in 20 years?
yeah.
Has he built a criminal empire? And if he has, why does he need to get into the hotel business? Like, I
Yeah.
think we're good. Like,
But also, I have to applaud the consistency of Ranjit as a criminal because every time he handles a gun, he's always ready with the rumal. Like fingerprint nahi aana chahiye. Every single time, if you rewatch this movie, like the 5-6 times in the climax, only like he has to handle a gun, he's like rumal pehle, sabut nahi aane chahiye.
I think the main villain is Ranjit in this movie.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
Girdhar,
like
right? It is
uh,
Ranjit, and I think he's doing a lot of villainous things. And I think he's actually really good in this. Like, he's a good villain. Like, so I think he's also kind of a good foil. And he gets slapped a lot by Shashi
yeah.
Kapoor. Like, he gets insulted a lot. So I guess I understand. I'm actually kind of pro Ranjit on this movie. I get his,
Wow.
I
We
get
have
his point.
reached to that part of the podcast where Asim is promoting pro Ranjit ideas.
Pro Ranjit ideas. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it for Namak Halal. I don't think we forgot.
One last
Do you have
thing,
more
though.
notes? Any
No,
randomness? Go.
just one last thing.
Yeah.
In the climax, because freaking Nisha's mom, Parveen Babi's mom, has been an idea of this villainous lady who's dealing with criminals. She obviously needs to meet her end. Like
Yeah.
she has to
Vamps.
get to,
Vamps
yeah.
have to die.
Or randomly, Girdhar comes out of nowhere and knives him.
Yeah.
And then in the very next scene, like Bhairav has to come and take a group photo, and Parveen Bhavi is like all happy and I'm saath saath hai mood. It's like the most random shit ever.
Yeah, that's total masala, right? That's
Yeah.
we've completely
Uh,
forgot about it. Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
and
I
then they lived happily ever after.
I
Like,
also never know when exactly Shashi Kapoor and Parveen Babi fell in love, because most of the time Shashi Kapoor was just drunk. Like, I don't know when
yeah.
that exactly
I think
happened.
it was
Yeah.
Raat Baaki.
I think it's after, like, he doesn't murder her after she confesses, because up
Hmm.
until then he was just a mark, right?
Right.
And then, and she's like, there's this mysterious lady with a voice who's like terrorizing me and my
They never
family.
explain that why she sounds
Yeah.
like Wahida
That's
Rehman
such
too,
a
right?
red herring, right?
Yeah.
Like they clearly used Wahida Rahman's voice to do that, and like it throws us off, like thinking like
See,
it's
that was AI before there was AI.
use
that was
the
that
actual person, basically.
that was an Indian instead of artificial intelligence. But yeah,
Does
it
Wahida
was.
Rahman live in Bangalore now? Right? So it
She
was
does
like,
have a yeah, she does have a farm in Bangalore. It's true. And when she's in Bombay, she lives next to Bhai. So all together, like
You need AI. Like,
uh-huh.
you do need AI. I think Bhai is a good host too. I am probably sure he takes care of Wahida Rehman and sends her biryani and all that kind of thing. Yeah. Created a little Muslim enclave somewhere, Biryani aate jate rehti hai,
Yeah.
ah,
Cool. I think this is it for Namak Halal for this episode. I hope Yamini, we did you proud. I did, at least. I tried my best.
You tried.
In दोनों का कुछ नहीं पता. Amrita, where can people find you online?
you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Amrita IQ.
Sujoy?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at 93K. And you can find a Khandaan podcast on all our socials, where we are posting a lot more, short form content at Khandaan Podcast. You can also check out YouTube, where we'll be soon doing some long form content. We are Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast on YouTube.
And yeah, drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com. I think also on Patreon, we did quite a bit, and it's open. I think it's still public until I figure out that I need to stop making it public. So if you want to sneak in and watch a few things for free, it's still there. But yeah, join us there. And I'm glad we're back and we're doing this again. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, we'll catch you later.
Peace.
Hey, pata dhingri papa, papa 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 papa.
Khandaan podcast from VIP Glottis. Papa, are you podcasting again?